This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
So this is the oldest shul in the Iberian Peninsula, but it's also dedicated to commemorate one of the most notable personalities of the Iberian Peninsula, Rabbi Avraham Zacutto. So that's an important name to remember. He wrote a very important sefer called Sefer HaYuchsin, which traces the generations of world history from Brias HaOlam until the year 1500. He was born in 1452 till 1515. He invented the astrolabe, which is spoken about in Shulchan Aruch. The astrolabe was used by Vasco da Gama and by Christopher Columbus in all of their expeditions. Now, we spoke about many times the tragedy of 1492, so I want to share with you a very important yediyah, and that yediyah is, in order to translate a Jewish date into a secular date, what do? You add 1240. So the Spanish Inquisition took place in the year Reish Nun Beis. Reish Nun Beis. 452. So you add 1240. 252. So you add 1240. 1492. So one of the great Achronim that lived during the time of the Spanish Inquisition, Rabbi Yosef Yavitz, not to be confused with Rabbi Yaakov Emden. Rabbi Yosef Yavitz. Yavitz is an acronym. It stands for Yitain Eitza Be'ez Tzara. Yavitz. Rabbi Yosef Yavitz. By the way, he writes that about various reasons why the Spanish Inquisition happened. By the way, Rabbi Avraham Saba says the reason why it happened is because Jews built big homes, luxurious homes. They were attractive to the eye, and it caught the attention of the Gentiles, and it created jealousy. Not that this has anything to do with American Jewry, but I thought I might point that out. Now, Rabbi Avraham Zacutto wrote the Sefer HaYuchsin. I just want to share with you one very moving paragraph and passage in the Sefer HaYuchsin. We spoke about how in Spain in 1391, there were 200,000 forcible conversions. In Portugal, in 1496, Emmanuel gave the Jews 10 months to decide whether they're going to leave or convert. But he did not keep his word. So the first day of Pesach, he forcibly converted Jews. He brought them to center squares. He surrounded them. He said, convert. They didn't want to convert, so he had priests sprinkle them with water. Okay, now they're converted. He also forcibly kidnapped and baptized every last child in Portugal under the age of 14. So if you were a parent and you had a child, you never saw the child again, Rahman al-San. Now, how many exceptions were there? Was this 80%, 90%, 95%? It was 100%. No one was exempt. There were no exemptions from this decree. Says Rabbi Avraham Zacutto was one of the few Jews who was able to leave Portugal in 1496. So he writes in the Sefer HaYuchsin, Ba'avanoseinu ra'inu, in the year Reish Nun Beis, 252, 1492. In the year Nun Vav Reish. What's Nun Vav Reish? 1496. After the expulsion from Portugal, we didn't know where to go. We couldn't go to France. We couldn't go to Spain. I was an old man. I was with my son Shmuel. Gamani Hashem Baruch Hashem Zikani She'akadesh Shemoi Im Shmuel Bani. I was zoicha to Mekadesh Im Shamayim. I did not endure forcible conversion. Ubanu LaAfrica. Rabbi Avraham Zacutto went to Africa. Which country? He came to Tunis. V'hayinu shvuyim shnei pamim. He was captured 2 times. Hashem leman chasadav v'rachamav hagdolim yashlim li ulazari. May the Almighty pay me back. Sheyia acharisenu la'avodas Hashem. That the end of my family, we should be servants of God. Yisbarach. Ulatayrasai. V'yasem chalkenu im hatzadikim. Hashem, please place the share of the destiny of my family with the righteous. Began Eden. Uvetchias hamesim. Ulabinyan Beis Mikdashai. So here we are, 500 years later, in the Rabbi Avraham Zacutto Museum. he was one of the few people who withstood the temptation of conversion, and he's praying to the Almighty that the destiny of his family should be among the righteous. And he hopes for the three big keys that every Jew should hope for: Gan Eden, Tchias HaMesim, Binyan Beis HaMikdash. Amen.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.